Welcome to Post Game Podcast again. This is our second attempt.
Hey,
It was nasty work the first attempt, but we got it together. How you doing, Foster?
I'm good, man. I'm excited for basketball, man. I feel like I haven't watched any type of I mean, outside of the terrible All-Star game and all that type of stuff. I'm ready to see just regular 5-on-5 basketball where they kind of try and play defense, you know.
Did you notice the parallel, Foster?
Uh,
See, we
what period?
for those that are listening, because you won't hear the first cut. This is the second attempt at the show. The parallel is the first part of the show didn't go so well, kind of like the Pistons' first half of the season. This is hopefully, well, I know the second half of this stream will go well. So hopefully, that's a parallel to the Pistons will do well the second half of the season.
See,
Foster's
won't they?
excited. Foster is excited.
Hey,
Me,
man. Yeah.
but you got to understand, Foster is a hooper. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a hooper anymore. Foster's a hooper, so he's gonna watch every game he can and enjoy it and take it with a grain of salt. Me personally, I kind of checked out a few weeks ago, but I am still here with you guys. I'm still a Piston fan. I am still doing the show. There's no quit. It's just difficult. 8-46 is nasty work. And let's see, that's 54 games. We have 28 games left. And Foster's excited.
I am excited.
I think I have some reason of optimism because my co-host is excited. So maybe I should get with the program and be excited as well. So, Foster, let me ask you though, why are you so excited? What brings amongst this optimism or this excitement that you have? Maybe you can share it with me and the listeners because we're 8-46. We need something.
I mean, I will always love the Pistons. Uh, we do have good young talent. We
Okay.
have new, a lot of new, a lot of new players. When you go down the line, we got a lot of new players. You got your Grimes, you got Fontecchio, you
Stop.
got
Stop. Stop. Let's break this thing down. Grimes was there or the trade happened and he did not play. Is there a reason for it? Is he here? Will he play soon? What's your
yeah.
what?
He actually I want to say he practices. I want to say he practices today, and they basically said we will see, how that goes as far as him playing tomorrow. So it's not. I would venture to say he's questionable, but he's on his way back. He's obviously had the whole All-Star break to
Yeah.
rest up. So Grimes will be back real soon.
Okay. I didn't mean to, interrupt. I just needed
Oh
to know
yeah.
about that player. Now you said the other guy, I'm not gonna mess up his name.
Mhm.
What's his name? Techie.
Simone Fontecchio. Yeah.
Okay, Fontecchio. Okay. You said we have Grimes, Fontecchio. Who else?
We got Shake Milton.
Shake. He played pretty decent.
Yes. Thomas, is his name Thomas Brown? It's something Brown. He
Troy.
came with Troy Brown. That's what it is. Troy Brown.
Look at me correcting you on a name. That's
Isn't
crazy.
that crazy? I always get his name messed up because it's such a like semi-generic name. But
Yeah.
yeah, Troy Brown. We got Malachi Flynn. We got Fournier, Evan Fournier. That's
Okay.
like 6 guys, right?
Yeah.
And then of course Muscala, he came over from Washington. not
Okay.
too long ago. So we
Yeah.
got a lot of new guys. You know,
Yeah.
some of which will not be around, but hey, out with the old, in with the new. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, we're losing steam with the optimism here. Yeah, just losing.
Cade important? You know, he's missed some games, but he's healthy. Um, yeah. There's reason for optimism. It's there's reason for optimism. You know, we just don't have playoff aspirations this year. So for what that's worth, which is a lot too.
Yeah, and keep in mind, the second half. We're being realistic, so there's no playoffs. Won't be any playoffs, but I'm starting to understand there's with fresh faces, second half of the season, different lineup, which is part of the. If you read the description, we're going to talk about uh, the new players post trade. We're going to talk about potential lineups, key players, and what we can look for in the remainder of the season. Um, I'm very curious though, so maybe that's a little bit of excitement there, but I'm very curious of majority of the season how the starting lineup will go
Yeah,
because uh, NBA uh, you don't they don't too much and for a regular team you don't juggle the lineup so much. You have a starting five. Like there's no mystery usually with a team on who your starting five is. Could be a mystery on how many minutes each player plays, but however, most teams have a starting five. So I'm very curious, being that everyone's healthy, and we haven't been able to say that all season. Everyone's healthy, and there'll be a chance to see what we have to look forward to next year. Because I'm gonna tell you something, Foster. I looked at a mock draft for the first 10 picks.
yeah.
I didn't know anybody.
There are probably a lot of guys from the G League and overseas, which makes it tricky if you don't follow those platforms.
And one thing we do not need is more youth. So I can't get excited about the draft. We don't
Nah, yeah, that's
we
not
don't need to get any younger. Now, if we could take that number one pick, if we get it, and
if we get the number one pick. That's the other tricky thing is
if we
we
get it,
could.
we mess around and get the fifth pick. Who
I,
with our luck. But
yes,
if you can take a lottery pick and go to a team with a bunch of uh with some veterans on there and say, hey, we can use these players. You can take this first pick because I just don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know anybody that's in this draft. Nothing intrigues me. Last
Alex
year,
Sarr, who's the consensus number one pick,
he's
the
six.
center.
He's how tall is he?
I think he's 7 feet tall, or around seven
Okay,
feet
maybe I got
tall.
the wrong part. See, that's how bad it is. I don't even know. I thought he was another because they were really high on another overseas guy, and he's about 6'7". I don't know which guy that is, but yeah, I don't know him by name, but he was about 6'7". He was a shooting guard, and they were going crazy about him at the beginning of the season. Like this is what everybody's looking forward to next year. But this SAR guy, 7 foot. Um,
Shoots threes.
yeah, yeah, I guess I just
Hey, we got we the pick is available, so
would you take SAR if you was the Pistons and got the
yeah,
first pick?
he's the consensus number one pick.
No,
I don't think that in
you
any world,
you
I don't care.
you are Troy Weaver. Would you take it?
Yeah, he's too good to not. He's too good to not take. You take your chances in moving him to the four because he can shoot threes and allowing Duran to obviously play center.
That's
So
the stretch
yeah,
where you was talking about. Remember at the beginning of the season, we just knew the key to this team was a stretch four.
yeah.
Yeah,
We need a stretch no matter what. That's
that
what
would
we
work
need.
out. That would work out if he could.
Yeah.
You can move him to the four, and yeah,
But I think he is a design center though. That's the only tricky part is that he is a center by trade. For what it's worth. I don't know.
what it's worth. Yeah. but he can shoot threes.
That's yes, that much I am aware of, and we'll get into draft and stuff like that because I do want to do
Let's
my
talk about
due
who we got.
diligence.
Let's talk about who we got now, because
Yeah, yeah,
the what we have here is let can we jump right into potential starting lineup, because I'm
yeah.
very curious of how you are going to play this. So let me ask you, out of the guys, the new guys that we got, the new people that we have, uh, are they configured into the starting lineup? I know Fontecchio is.
Yeah. So I I think Fontecchio has been starting. I think that's mostly been due to the fact that Quentin Grimes isn't wasn't ready to play when he first got here. But I really want to see I really want to see Ivy, Cade, Quentin Grimes, Asar Thompson, and Durant. I just want to see. I want to. It's tricky. It's tricky because you can kind of move Asar to the three, and I don't know what if the four is the one that we just don't have a solid, four. You can maybe put Fontecchio at the four, but he's only 6'7", 209, so he's not really designed to play a four unless the matchup
No.
is conducive to that. Um, but with Asar's athleticism and ability to play defense, I think he can play the four. And then I think Quentin Grimes and Fontecchio is interchangeable. But what I like the most about Quentin Grimes is the fact that he is a 3 and D guy that can he will be our strongest point of attack defender outside of Asar. So I want to see him. Can we get to 15 wins? MSU Detroit fans says, can we get to 15 wins? And that's 7 more wins out of the last 20 plus. Yeah, I think so.
8 wins out of 62 games and 7 out of 28. I don't know. That's a tall task. That's a tall task.
Given the pace that we're on currently, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's new faces, so obviously, there's a chance there. I guess this line, but so from what I'm gathering, you would project Grimes to start over Fontecchio.
I think they're going to try both of them. It's tough to say whether or not he would have been playing. He would have been starting had he been available. But I like his defense. I like what he brings defensively. I think that's huge. Um, I think Fontecchio either way is the first guy off the bench outside of Marcus Sasser. Um, so yeah, I think that he has the. I think they're going to give him with Grimes being our the top asset that we got in all those trades. They got to give him every opportunity to play um, starter minutes because I think he's going to factor into our future. Our future. He's going to take pressure off Cade defensively,
Mhm.
and if he's on shooting wise, he's gonna take pressure off him offensively as well. He's gonna be I hope a high gravity shooter as well.
Um, MSU
Hmm.
Detroit fan says, with the fourth pick in the NBA draft, the Pistons select Caitlin Clark, Iowa. You know what I'm going to do, Foster? I'm
What?
going to go to a Pistons game. I'm going to have a sign, and it's going to say, Caitlin Clark, help. It's going to hold the sign up. Can we draft her? Like,
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like, yeah, could that happen? But
no,
just never would.
that it's that bad when you even think considering. Like, those thoughts never crossed anybody's mind until you get a season like this. Like, can she help? Like,
No more guards, anyways.
yeah, yeah. Um, I have a random K, quit turning the ball over. These next 28 games, take care of the ball.
Figure you just throw that out there, right?
The Pistons as a whole, quit turning the ball over. Try creating more turnovers than having them. Try converting on some of these turnovers as well. MSU Detroit fan says you definitely get on TV if you do that. Yeah, I think that'll make headlines everywhere. You draft, get the guy to the podium and say, "Kate." I mean, I don't.
He said,
Kate,
"Nah, he's talking about you'll get on TV if you bring that sign."
oh, for sure, for sure. But you know what? Now I'm thinking, could you draft her?
No, I don't
Illegal? Is
think
that
that.
against the rules?
I think that she would have to be a men. That's, it wouldn't. It would never happen anyways because there's just not one
I'm
even
just
one
saying it.
girl.
I'm just saying.
But
I don't
I
think
don't
she's
think
good enough to play amongst the men. I'm just being real.
I think she would have to go to the WNBA, which would be better for her because it would be better for her anyways. If she's even like even if she was even remotely close to playing the NBA, she would dominate the WNBA so much that
And that
she
may
would
not
get
happen.
crazy endorsement.
But you know what? The WNBA probably wouldn't let nothing like that happen because she could be the golden ticket for their research.
That's what I'm saying. It would do so much for women's basketball that
Yeah, it would do a
um
lot. They need it more than anything, more than the Pistons. Uh, MSU Detroit fan said, "Notice I said fourth pick
yeah.
because we mess around and get the fourth pick. That's what it is." But like I said, I don't see anybody intriguing. Like I don't know anybody that's on. Like I usually have a good idea on who these players are um, in the draft. That's the prospects. I don't know a clue. Like I looked at the picks, I'm like, holy cow, I don't know nobody. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't think the draft uh, will help us in any kind of way. I just don't. I just think we're young enough. We do have future good players. It's just a matter of, and I saw a sign. Oh my gosh. Let's take a quick break, and I'm gonna tell you about what I saw, Foster, because this is very interesting, and I just want to know your thoughts and how real this could be. Give us a few seconds for our ads. Foster, I saw a sign, bro.
mhm.
It wasn't a sign. You know how you go to like Google and they have these articles? They had a picture of Monty Williams, and it said, "Is he next?"
Hmm.
Now,
I did see Jock Vaughn just got fired.
now, my thing is, right? If you fire Monty, you got to eat that cost because uh, you're firing him on performance, not out of anything he's done wrong. Like if it was negligent, like if he, swung on a player or you know what I'm saying, or had some kind of scandal, like the former Boston Celtics coach or whatever, that's one thing, right? But just uh purely because you can't legally you can't blame it all on the coach. He's your scapegoat. You know what I'm saying? So if you fire him, you still got to pay him.
Yeah.
Uh MSU Detroit fan says this draft isn't like last year where uh there were guys like Victor Scoot, the Thompson twins, and Miller. Absolutely. Like I knew who all those players were at this point in the season. Like I knew who all those players were. But at the same time, there's none of those prospects. Like Sar is the only name that I've seen and heard on a regular, but I don't even know what position. Like until Foster mentioned how tall he was, I didn't know. I knew he was overseas. I didn't know. I thought he was a shooting guard. But
But what's interesting is that out of the names that he's mentioned, they haven't as notable as they were. Most of them have struggled. Both twins have struggled. Scoot had a very, shaky start. I mean, Wemby and Miller, who's kind of started to
Yeah,
progress.
they're okay.
Yeah, I mean, one of your best rookies has been Jaime. What's his name? Jaime Jack, the guy that was in the dunk contest for Miami. He's been one of the better rookies this year. Like
Yeah,
sometimes those guys, I mean, high ceiling. These guys are still high ceiling guys.
you gotta
But
remember that guy, and he's out of UCLA. If I'm not mistaken, he was a senior in UCLA.
yeah, yeah, he
Oh,
higher floor,
yeah.
lower ceiling though.
But
But
when you play 4 years of college, it's to be expected to be better than somebody that's been in the G League for a year or someone straight out of high school. You know what I'm saying? So you've had 4 years to play, and like I said, he was always a good player at UCLA, and it went back for like from the time he was a sophomore. He was pretty productive, so he's NBA ready. So, and that's probably the thing that these rookies from this year uh, will will be able to showcase next year. They need to get like some time underneath their belt, and you know
you can't
you
judge draft classes
for the
the
first
first year. You
no,
can't.
it's not. But I was very very high on Scoop. Like I'm like, man, we if we could get Scoop,
I
we
remember
would be
hearing about Scoot in high school before he even went to the G League. So
yeah. So, but
the name alone,
I think didn't he go back to the G League while he was
he
with
might
Portland?
he might have gotten
Yeah.
to
So
that
it's
point. He
like
might I think he was hurt though, and
okay,
that was a rehab
it
stint
might have been a rehab stint.
because Portland's pretty bad. No need to you know
I think that
half
was
their
our
team
last
looks like the G
the
League
last
anyway.
that was our last victory, wasn't it?
Was Portland the last one?
I'm asking. He's that or the second
It's
last.
either that one, huh?
It was either that or the second last one. It was a comeback victory in overtime.
Yeah, it was late at night, and I
Yeah,
remember because I missed that game. But yeah,
man,
we
I
did
watched.
okay on the West Coast. OKC, we beat didn't we beat Sacramento?
Yeah, in Sacramento.
We got kind of busy. And the Clippers, we had them against the ropes.
LeBron looked like he played for the Cleveland this third year against us though.
Yeah, no, yeah, the Lakers got
LeBron,
little
LeBron
somethings.
LeBron said, "You
Woo.
must have forgot. I don't like y'all."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, MSU Detroit fan says, "I remember during the draft, Charlotte took Miller at 2. I thought we had a shot at getting Scoot, but Portland took him at 3." Yeah, I
I
thought
don't know if we wanted Scoot. I don't know if that would have been.
I was hoping we was getting. I wanted Scoot before Thompson. I did. Not gonna lie. I'm glad we got Thompson.
And what make Cade a 3 and move everybody down, son?
I just thought we needed a pure point guard. I'm an old school guy, so I figured we needed a
Is he
pure.
pure? Yeah.
He's a lot purer than Cade or
Then Ivy?
and Ivy. Yeah, Ivy's a shooting guard.
Mm.
Always have been. At
He's
Purdue,
a pretty good passer. He's a pretty good passer.
turnover magnet.
Shit, they all are. I think Scoop probably is.
He
Scoop
probably
probably is
is.
too.
He probably is. But I most point guards that you're grooming, they take care of the ball. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see. MSU Detroit fan says, "Yeah, we beat the Kings of Sacramento. That was a good one because the Kings kept trolling the Lions during
Yes,
the pregame
yes.
and the Pistons destroyed them." Like, why would you?
Because
Okay,
Bay Area, San Francisco.
let's stop there. Let's stop there. You're not going to troll. You're San Francisco, not Sacramento.
It's
Stop.
Bay Area. It's Bay
I don't
Area though.
care. I don't get a football team.
Sacramento. Ugh.
Who cares?
I'm just saying. I see the
what
logic.
happened- You see what happened to your team when you got there. Wouldn't have happened to us. We'd have won.
Well, coulda,
Anyway.
woulda, shoulda.
I ain't gonna get into all that. I ain't gonna get it.
Yeah, let's stay on top.
We beat the Kings. Damn it. Uh let's see. MSU Detroit fan says, yeah, the Raiders going gone. The 49ers are basically the NFL team for Northern California.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because Oakland's gone. Yeah.
Oakland's
It's
gone.
true.
Oakland's
It's
gone.
true.
Man, do you know how many teams they had? I don't want to go off on a tangent, but you got Chargers, San Francisco. You had
You
the
talking about
Chargers.
Cali?
Yeah, you had the Chargers, Rams, San Francisco, and the Raiders at one point. That's kind of
It's
crazy.
big state. Big state.
Yeah, big state, big market. And then you think about it, then you got the Jets and the Giants. That's they got
Big
two
market.
big market. Yeah. Let's get back.
They play in Jersey though.
They both do, right?
Same stadium.
They just changed the
Meadowlands.
logo in the middle. Yeah, they play in the Meadowlands. Yeah, we got to go to a game out there in the Meadowlands.
Sounds miserable.
It does. I love New York though.
Oh, you love New York now?
Bro, you know how we were. I had a ball out there. It was great. We got to go to a Knicks game.
Oh man, yeah.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy. That would be. Where do they play? Where do the Knicks play? They play downtown. Where's Madison? Is that down? Is that in Manhattan?
It's right by the train station, so wherever that is.
Okay.
Man, yeah, I guess you would consider it, man.
I'm curious. I'm curious to where it is. I would love to go see the Knicks versus Brooklyn in Madison Square Garden. It would be crazy, right?
That'd be
Or
interesting.
the Pistons. I'm going off on a tangent. Let's watch the Pistons play at the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's in Manhattan. MSU Detroit fan says the Knicks play in Madison Square Garden in Manhattan. I kind of figured it was in Manhattan.
Yeah. Yeah, the Rangers do also play that.
Back to the Pistons.
Yeah, we go. Where am I?
So, who we play tomorrow night?
Play the Indiana Pacers. Tough team.
It's like when you tell your kid no. It's like, yeah. How have they been playing with Siakam?
They have been solid. I don't know off the top of my head. I know. Okay, so Tyrese Halliburton got hurt.
He balled out for the All-Star game though.
Yes, but he's been on a minutes restriction because I want to say he really wasn't fully recovered. But they're saying that because with the new MVP requirements, you haven't played 65 games. I feel like they brought him back a little earlier so that he would be eligible for that. So he hasn't been playing.
I like that rule.
It's cool, but you on the flip side, you want them ready for the playoffs. So that's the most
The whole
important.
purpose was for people like me and you. When we bought tickets, when we go into those stadiums, we can see the stars.
For sure.
And a lot of these stars, they want that MVP money. They want that, you know what I'm saying? They want that notoriety. So they're not going to sit down unnecessary games. If they sit because they're injured, they're just going to have to sit when they're injured. When they can play, the idea is to get them to play. So, yeah. MSU Detroit fan says, it seems the Pistons are playing like 1,000 road games in a row. Hey, MSU Detroit fan, I'm going to tell you this. It seems like they're playing an away game at home.
Sometimes.
Yeah, man. The way them refs, what was the game? Versus Milwaukee? They were going crazy.
God. I went to that game.
Yeah. The refs kind of got us out that game, man. It's crazy. So, yeah.
But yeah, obviously so Pascal Siakam has been a good addition. But Halliburton has played. He's on a minutes restriction. But Benedict Mathurin, it appears him and Jaden Ivey. Obviously, Jaden Ivey was picked before Benedict Mathurin.
The rivalry.
Of course, the Pistons and Pacers have a long-standing rivalry going back to the Malice Palace,
We beat them up.
and then Ivy played in Indiana, and his mom played for the Fever, so there's a lot
Ivy,
of correlation there.
you said in Indiana or for Indiana?
He played for Purdue in
Yeah,
Indiana.
I was just making sure.
Did I say play for Indiana?
Yeah, that's why I asked. I wasn't sure if you said
Yeah,
for or in Indiana because he
I
played.
meant yeah. But his mom played for the Indiana Fever as well. So
Yeah,
a lot of correlation, but they will always be linked. And I think we kind of forgot, but it came back in the
the,
in
all-
that in that
the,
All-Star game, that skill or Young Stars
yeah.
competition. Yeah. So
I got a
yeah.
scenario for you, Foster.
Okay, what's up?
Let's say the Pistons go out tomorrow. Grimes has over 20. Cade has over 20. Ivy has over 20. And there's a win.
Okay.
Do you think the season will be like on a winning season the rest of the season out? Remember
You talking about as far as momentum working towards the rest of the year? I mean, there's no dictating that because
no. Just having some fun with it. I mean, do you have a reason of optimism if they go out and just play lights out?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because obviously the key being Quentin Grimes. You said Grimes, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
So yeah, so yeah, I think that there will be optimism that possibly he was a major factor in that, kind of in the same way, in a lesser extent, the way that OG Anunoby from New York, he's also a 3-and-D wing, and the Knicks were on fire before they all got hurt. Randall's hurt, Anunoby's hurt, a lot of those guys that got hurt. It it definitely there was definitely some optimism around that just the way that he's able to spread the floor and play defense. So yeah, I think there would definitely be some optimism that he's a good young player that has a change of scenery, and he can now unlock the potential that he had when he was drafted as a rookie. So yeah, I can see that, but I certainly wouldn't personally read too much into it after one good game.
Okay. I got you. I mean, I'm just saying, it could be a good sign though. And MSU Detroit fan MSU Detroit fan says Ivy just has connections to both Indiana and Detroit since he played at Purdue, and his mom played for both the Shock and Fever,
Oh,
as
that's
Foster said, and head coach of Notre Dame's women's basketball.
just more
And his grandfather played for the Lions. So that just tells me that Ivy should never leave Detroit because he belongs here, especially if he quits turning the ball over and put some points on the board there. I'm going to talk about these turnovers until, they stop turning over. There was a time, though, during the season, though, where they cut the turnovers down, but they were still losing.
Gotta keep the culture.
Yeah, they did cut it. They did cut the turnovers down. But it was just like sickening at one point to watch how often they turn the ball over. It was bad. Just bad. And it was like, come on, Cade. You didn't see that man right there and you threw it right to him?
Maybe he needs his eyes checked.
Man, he needs everything checked. I just think it's a young team, and I started to wonder if they really just like checked out on Monty. You know how you can just mentally quit. You know what I'm saying? Just not. I don't know. I want your thoughts on that. We're gonna take another quick break, and I want you to think about, has the team quit on Monty? I think it's a good question. think I think after so long and, losing so many games, do you do you just quit playing? Do you try, do you not believe or buy what the coach is selling? Have you ever been a part of a losing team, Foster?
Absolutely.
Talking about in sports. I mean, I know you're in a part of a losing team being my friend, but I'm just talking about in sports. Like, did
Yeah, I
you
mean, I've been a part of teams that lost more than they won. I mean,
did
not
you did you
not
look
just
at the coach differently during the season? Like, you don't know what he's doing. Well, I'm not
mm,
doing that. This doesn't work because it's got to cross your
uh,
mind. It's got to cross your mind.
yeah, but sometimes you got to look within too. Yeah, you can't look past your own deficits, not necessarily personal deficits. Because I'm a great basketball. Nah, I'm just fine.
We're talking
But
egos here, though, Foster. These people
right,
have serious, serious egos.
right.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think there was a period of time. Uh, Speaking on the Pistons, that he lost the team and they were just kind of down in the dumps and just like, when is this going to end? But I think at this point in time, we have had some success. We got some new guys in, and we've kind of opened up the availability for some of our young players, like a Marcus Sasser and Asar Thompson. So um, there should be some level of optimism to try to finish the year a little bit stronger because we have got a taste of some victory. So um, yeah,
I, MSU Detroit fans, I think this is in regard
good
to
question.
have you ever gave up on your coach's philosophy and stuff like that and, just question or just quit playing for a fan? Yes. 2003 Tigers, 2008 Lions, 2016 MSU football, 2020 Red Wings. But for sports, I played, yes, also. I mean, I think in today's day and age where the egos are so high amongst players, um, it's like zero accountability. Like if you get benched, you if you get benched, you want to trade. And that's not just today's players. That's been happening in the past 20 years. It's like if you get benched or yelled at, you're out of there. Right. Uh Remember Latrell Sprewell? Like he literally choked PJ Carlesimo, his coach. Like, and it had to be at least 30 years ago.
The '90s for sure.
It had to be 30 years ago. So it's like it's a big difference, when you're coaching people with these egos, this, that, and other. And like everybody ain't trying to hear what you're trying to say. And then after, if it's not successful, if your coaching philosophy isn't showing any kind of results, I can imagine me myself as a player saying, "Man, he don't know what he's talking about. He wants us to do it, but it doesn't work. It's not working. It's not me." You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's failing. I can't make the team lose. It's not me.
I'm sure it was especially frustrating for Jaden Ivey because he was like, hey, he benched me, so
We mentioned this before, Foster. Like a lot of these players probably have never lost at any level at a clip like this.
certainly not Cade because Cade played on a
Well, if you look at it, Foster,
legendary high school team.
yeah, but if you look at it, Foster, these are players like in high school. You get a player like Ivy, you're not losing a lot of games. I don't care if he's the only one on the team. He can carry a high school team with his ability, and I'm pretty sure I can say the same for Duran. I'm pretty much was taller than everybody on the court. You don't see a lot of 6'11", 7-foot guys in high school, and I guarantee you,
He was bigger than everybody at 18 in the NBA.
yeah. So I just can't imagine like these guys ever having to lose so many games. Like these guys, they play high school, they play AAU, they play college, you know what I'm saying? Not even pickup games. You know what I'm saying? They just not used to losing. They can't be. not this kind of clip. Like they're going into games. I say 8 out of 54 games. That's a crazy. That's a low percentage for anything in any kind of sports. You can't go 8 out of 54 for nothing. Even in baseball, that's a horrible average. So it's like, hey, well, I don't know if that's horrible in baseball. 8 hits, 54. That might be it's not bad. But still, that's just a bad winning percentage. I just can't expect anybody to buy into a philosophy after having like that. But this season, this season will make or break these Pistons. Like if you can withstand this, stick together, and somehow figure out a way, you look back at this season and be like, man, we came a long way. 'Cause it's like it's dark. Also, there's no sugarcoating. This stuff is bad.
Well, you look at Philly. Philly had some historically
Ooh,
awful teams, but
man.
they have been relatively good as of late. They hit
Well,
on
you
a
can
couple good draft picks, and yeah,
look around the league, and you can say that about a few teams. OKC was bad for a long time.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They were bad and frowned upon. You know one team that hasn't that's been pretty steady, even though they've lost people, is Miami. The Heat don't get too bad. You know what I'm saying? They seem to be in the mix all the time. Every season in, season out.
Even last year, where they weren't ranked very high, they ended up beating Milwaukee. Tyler Hero got hurt.
Mhm.
They seemed to have basically nothing but Bam and Jimmy Butler, and they made Max Strus and
Mhm.
whoever the other guy, yeah, Max Strus and
The other guy
Duncan
that went
Robinson.
the other guy that went to there was a guard that went to LA, the Lakers. I forgot his name.
Mm.
Little light
Oh, Vincent
Vincent, yeah.
hasn't played all year, but
MSU Detroit fan said, "Here's a big question for the Pistons. Do we blow it up again? Pause. That includes moving on from Troy Weaver or salvage the few things we have right now." That's a very, very good question. My thing is, no matter what you can do, whenever what you do, can it be any worse? So I'm not mad if you, s- you know, keep whatever until you give it this young team a chance, or if you blow it up, it can't get any worse either way. But you have to do something. Now, I don't know if you go a short leash next year and say, okay, let's see how these first 20 games go, or you blow it up in the off season. But I think you entertain all offers and you see what you can do. Because you do have good players here. You do have a good young core. Now,
yeah.
me personally, I don't think this core is going to stay together. This is my personal opinion. And that core being Duran, Cade, Ivy, Thompson. The old saying is everybody can't go.
Right.
I don't think that those four are going to last. Somebody's going to say bye bye because it's going to be somebody has to be the scapegoat. Can't just be Monty Williams. And I think this team next year is on a short leash. Like,
Yeah, this year's been tough enough.
yeah,
Last year we were the worst team, yeah, we gotta be. We were the worst team last year.
yeah, and
At what point?
it's it's gotten worse, and it's embarrassing. Right now, it's embarrassing. Something has to shake. So I think if you don't do anything crazy in the off season, if you don't make any moves, then next year, short leash has to be. And I'm talking about after the first 20 games. There has to be something. You have to see something within the first 20 games. I'm not saying you have to go 17-3, but you have to see some good basketball, some exciting basketball. I don't care if your record is 10-10. Because if you look at it, that's a hell of an improvement from the year before. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that first 20 games, you have to really, really pay attention to what you got and how things are going. And you also, next year, you have to start looking at Monty. You're here, you're paid to fix what was here. 15 and 16, 67 is what got you here. You can't take a step back. You can't take another step back. There has to be some sign of improvement. You know what I'm saying? The coach search, they opened up the pocketbook. You know, they were destined to get a premier coach, the best coach money could buy. And you're facing not even having winning you're facing not winning 15 games. That's our reality. And at some point, we know the players have to be held accountable, but at the same time, you have to hold the coach accountable. And one of the things that I'm going to continue to say, this team turns the ball over too much and they're too comfortable turning the ball over where they're not scared to getting benched. They're not scared of being pulled. They're not scared to be put on Front Street. They are throwing the ball over like they're not scared. And that's a problem. I don't want to disappoint my coach. I don't want my coach yelling at me. I don't want to, I don't want none of the extracurriculars fussing this, that, and other. So I'm not going to turn the ball. That's my mentality. And that's the way when I play basketball, that's just what it is. You did not turn that ball over like that. That's some pride, man.
Yeah, some of it.
Some of it. I mean, my coaches said, hey, majority of the coaches I played for, you didn't turn the ball over and you played defense. They didn't care about missing shots. I never got yelled at for missing shots. Taking the wrong shot, yes. But missing a shot, no. That's another thing that pisses me off too, Foster. You can't be wide open and not shoot. I don't care how bad of a shooter you are. You hurt me not shooting. Shoot the right. Can't be wide open and not shoot. What's my man name that played for Brooklyn? That played for Philly? The guard.
Oh, Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons used to really, really irk my nerve when he lost his confidence.
He's that bad though. He's that bad at shooting.
If you're open, you hurt me just as much not shooting the ball as you would missing
it. Yeah.
I'd rather you shoot and miss than
There's a reason he doesn't though. You don't want to wait. You don't want to waste possessions just like, all right, well, I am open. Like there's a reason why they leave him open, and it's because the percentages says that you're hurting the team by trying.
He's pretty good at getting to the cup though.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a good passer. Yeah. There's no way he should be left that open without any kind of threat whatsoever. That about do it for this week. I think we can't fuss at the Pistons too much more. We got a game tomorrow. Pistons play. Is that in India? That's in Indianapolis.
I believe so.
That's right. You don't want no more malice at the palace. They know what's happening.
Yeah, it's in India.
Okay. What's the next game after that?
Got the Magic and then the Knicks.
Is the Magic here?
That is in Detroit. Saturday.
It's Saturday. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow night. if the Pistons win tomorrow night, I'm going to do a quick little show tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night? Okay.
I don't care what time it is.
East Coast game, yeah.
I'll
I
get
mean,
online. I will go live and I will talk about uh, their victory and how they played. I sure will. MSU Detroit fan says, have you noticed in the NBA, whenever a coach is fired, most teams are not promoting someone from the current staff. They hire a full on replacement from outside the team. Yeah. I wonder if that happened with Jacques Vaughn in Brooklyn.
nah, Kevin Ollie, I believe, was already there.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys that we could have had, but we chose Monty over Kevin Ollie.
Probably would have been a little bit cheaper.
So. Yeah.
The little bit was very, very sarcastic.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Well, but I think that that's because it's kind of like Monty Williams. I think that if we fired Monty Williams, we would not be bringing on Silas. You know, he's under the same philosophy, and he was hired in by the fired guy. So it wouldn't make sense if you're looking for change. I don't think.
I forgot this one. I skipped over this. This is a very good question before we get out of here. MSU Detroit fan says, if anything, Troy Weaver is also a big question for the Pistons. Do we give him another season or give him the pink slip? That's a toughie. I think if you're going to, if the resolution is get rid of Monty, GM's got to go too. Now that's not usually the case. Usually, if you get rid of the GM, you get rid of the coach. Not if you get rid of the coach, you get rid of the GM. And that's. But I'm saying to start off with a clean slate, I think that's what you have to do. I think Troy is on. Let's give it a pink slip as well. Pistons next 5. MSU Detroit fan lets us know that Pistons next 5 at Pacers, Magic, at Knicks, at Bulls, and the Cavaliers. God, I hate Cleveland. Did I say that out loud?
The Cavaliers are really good right now.
Okay, Foster, that's enough. We're going to end this show, man, because I cannot stand Cleveland Cavalier talk. Can't do it. Can't do it. Not on my show. This is my show. I'm out. Foster, you have any closing words?
I want to see that matchup again, the Donovan Mitchell versus Ivy, because he has actually sung some pretty high praises of Ivy um, after elbowing him in the face and all that, and getting the foul call. But yeah, actually some interesting matchups for Cade and company is in the next couple of games. Jalen Brunson coming to town. We got Kobe White, who's had a pretty good year.
Kobe White is playing outstanding ball.
Halliburton, obviously. Um, but yeah, and the Magic, Killian's not here anymore, but don't forget about the little scrum we had where Killian pushed Franz Wagner to the bench.
I think he knocked him out, low key.
Well, I think he kind of played it off a little bit, but
Yeah. Okay.
but the Magic are pretty good. We don't have too many. The Bulls are very up and down, shaky, but
Well, Levine's not playing.
Levine's not playing, but DeRozan is. White is playing. Drummond.
Yeah.
They got Drummond.
Let me get out of here. You just mentioned Drummond. He just irks me.
He could come back to Detroit, man. He's welcome back to Detroit.
I've been hoping he would come back to Detroit. He's the veteran. He's the veteran presence that we probably could use.
Great rebounder. One of the best ever.
All right, let's get out of here.
I digress.
Look.
Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. I got an article coming out on Fans First Network regarding the Pistons and the home stretch of the NBA season, the regular season for us. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, just download, share that link around.
Wow. I got to tell you something off here. This is crazy.
Okay.
This is crazy what just happened. Anyway, subscribe to Motor City Metrics and Bleachers Speakers on YouTube. Subscribe. Check us out there. Also, check us out on all streaming podcast platforms. Just type in Post Game Podcast, FFSN, in the search. Follow us. Download the episodes. Tonight, there will be 2 player profiles that will be uploaded to Bleachers and Speakers. If you haven't subscribed to that YouTube, please do so. Subscribe, share, comment. This is a great segment that Foster doing, and he's going over NFL prospects. It's that time of the year where they're talking NFL draft, and Foster's in the mix, and he's doing his homework. Let's start there. You got anything before we get out of here, Foster?
That's it.
All right, well, it is what it is.
Detroit basketball.
We win it tomorrow night.
Fiddle.